From Drop Biscuit Studios and the people who brought you Wondery's Inside Jaws, Inside The Exorcist, and Inside Psycho comes You Talking to Me? Bite-sized Hollywood history with plenty of bite. And the Oscar goes to a dog and a Nazi. This is You Talking to Me? I'm Mark Ramsey. The very first Academy Awards ceremony happened way back in 1929. In those silent movie days, the event celebrated the best films of 1927 and 1928. There was nothing televised, obviously, nor was it yet on the radio. 270 of Hollywood's who's who were in attendance. Each ticket was only $5, and what is now an almost 4-hour extravaganza lasted a grand total of 15 minutes. Now, the biggest star for Warner Brothers at the time was the brave German shepherd Rin Tin Tin. Yes, that's right, a dog. He had made 16 movies by 1927, and many in town credited him with keeping the studio in business. The joke at the time was that Rin Tin Tin captured more Best Actor votes than any two-legged actor, but the Academy supposedly couldn't imagine inaugurating their first ever awards ceremony with a prize for a dog, no matter how many pictures he had made. It's hard to be taken seriously after an acting award goes to the dogs, after all. And so the prize instead went to the very bipedal Emil Jannings, who had been nominated for 2 films. Well, it turns out that Rin Tin Tin did not secure more votes than anybody else. Indeed, a review of the actual signed ballots from the 1928 show reveals that not one vote went to a dog, not one, which seems unfair. But doesn't it make sense? I mean, a dog has no ego to be soothed and sated. One good meal a day is all he needs, and not at Nobu. What's the point of the whole game of backslapping and obsequious pandering if the object of all that attention only needs a kind scratch behind the ears, right? Does George Clooney want a scratch behind the ears? No, he does not from the typical Academy voter anyway. But here's the thing. The guy who did win, the guy who beat the dog, Emil Jannings, would later become a Nazi, the first and only Oscar winner to be a literal, real Nazi. In what sure sounds like an apocryphal story, Jannings was in Berlin at the end of World War II, and with Hitler dead and Germany about to fall, Jannings is said to have rushed towards the Allied troops as they approached, clutching his Academy Award and yelling, "Don't shoot! I have won an Oscar!" Wait, is that Rin Tin Tin? No, it's the Nazi. When Paul Hunreid, the Austrian-born actor who played Victor Laszlo in Casablanca, was a teenager, he worked with Jannings. He played a minor character who was killed. Jannings was supposed to stand beside a closed casket, presumably containing young Hunreid's remains. Jannings told Hunreid that to get the right feeling for the scene, he should lie in the coffin with the lid closed. A nervous Hunreid did so, and there he stayed for half an hour before he gathered the nerve to raise the lid and look out. Turns out, surprise, surprise, Jannings had gone to lunch and left him in the coffin. So who really was the better actor in 1929? The one with a good heart who was tempted by treats? Or the one who fooled a terrified kid into laying in a coffin for half an hour and was tempted by Adolf Hitler? Woof woof. Follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you're listening right now, and rate us 5 stars. That's You Talking to Me. I'm Mark Ramsey.